Welcome back to the first Scruff Enuff of 2024. I'm your host, Matt Selby of Bay Area Beard Company. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know you guys were waiting a couple of minutes. The big party starts tomorrow. Gasparilla. It's going to get wild. I'm hydrating tonight because tomorrow's going to be bananas. But we're going to kick off 2024 tonight here on Scruff Enuff. Right back.
They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now.
Welcome back. Dan Ensign from Dan's Beard Reviews is an affiliate of Bay Area Beard Company. One of my good buddies. He's been on Scruff Enuff once before, but he is the only Dan in the room for the moment.
Right.
So, Dan, welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Hanging in there, trying to hydrate and get ready for tomorrow.
What's going on tomorrow?
Gasparilla. You ever heard of it's kind of basically an origin story about Tampa in a way.
Okay.
Kind of commemorates the pirate invasion of how Tampa started. And every year since I think 1900, they have done this pseudo pirate invasion. The entire city shuts down. It's a big party. So it's actually how Florida Blanca was modeled. So it's kind of like probably the biggest event in Tampa.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So and it's supposed to be warm. So I know that
That's not like the
people
common
might be a little jealous of how
football weekend here.
Yeah, and the crazy they shut down the jumping in the Buckeye Lake before the game, didn't they?
Right. Yeah. I'm just happy today it's not quite as cold as my backdrop makes it look.
I like the backdrop. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to go seasonal a little bit, mix it up a little bit.
What year was that? I think that somebody passed away, and that's where they had to get rid of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the jumping in the Buckeye Lake thing. That got a little too cold.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm on a different page. Yeah.
We'll say hi to everybody. I know Mark posted this before the show started, but Mark, thanks for tuning in. Thomas, how's it going, brother? Patrick, he's trying to maybe schmooze a little bit so he gets some votes in your beard competition. Elvena, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. So, how's your 2024 going so far?
It's going great. We kind of stumbled into it a little bit. My wife had surgery right before Christmas time, and so it's been kind of last 6 weeks been laying pretty low, just getting her energy back, and it takes a lot. You take it for granted how much it takes for your body to heal. It just wears you out. But she's bouncing back. She's doing good.
Yeah, it's when it's cold, you have the winter. It's can be tough to kind of recuperate as you used to be able to.
Right. Yeah. But looking forward to the beard competition. We got March Madness coming up here before too long, and it's a fun time of year. I love it.
That's right. You do have your March Madness. That honestly was probably, I think this had to have been what, 2020? Maybe the first year, I think, when you had it,
Yeah,
or was one of the years you did have it, and I
yeah,
entered. It was on a choice between MICFA and Florida Blanca. You let all the companies pick a scent. I
right.
picked Florida Blanca because it had roughly been kind of what was popular that I've gotten some
Yeah.
feedback on, and
Hmm.
the rest is kind of history.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's every company has their following. It's kind of neat to see how everybody responds to support their favorites and their teams and their owners that they like so much. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
But it,
that's a
the
really good
owners,
one too, because you don't necessarily go ahead.
I'm sorry, the owners don't get a chance to have a spotlight very often. They're kind of in behind everything, sending things out. But you're helping guys like me all the time. People may not even realize it, but you don't get the light shine on you very often. So it's kind of neat to guys put you out there and let people kind of show you how much we love you.
And it's really cool. I know that I think Daniel, when he was doing his channel, he did more. It was company based, but the really cool thing that you did was you let each company pick their own scent, and those
Right.
scents were the ones that were kind of featured. So even though that people did vote based on company, that there was their favorite, um, there was more or less their favorite scent. So it was kind of we had to kind of pick something that would do good. I was really new, but Florida Blanca seemed to do really well, I think, in that competition for every year,
Yeah.
and so
But you and Nick from Weird Beard had a nice little competition between the two of you. You guys had some fun rivalry going on there.
yeah, he had a really good barbershop, and I think that kind of hurt a little bit because I didn't pick my barbershop against his. But
Yeah,
Florida Blanca, based off the feedback, was the one that really edged it out at the time. But
yeah,
since then, it has skyrocketed as the one that it seems it's bestseller every year, and it's because of your Instagram, your voting, the March Madness, your channel that really started that. Not a lot of
that's
people, I
crazy.
think, probably know that now when they pick Florida Blanca. It's your channel that did it.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, 'cause that's a great
Yeah,
scent. It really is.
and
It really is a great scent.
and a few people may know, but not everyone. I redesigned that scent because the original I did not like.
Right.
I personally did not like Florida Blanca, even though others did.
Hmm.
I I couldn't get behind it as one that I said this is a great scent, and so um, even after redesigning
Yeah,
it, it still took off. And again, your channel and your page and the things that you do really promoted that. So I think that any company that's looking for that, Dan's Beard Reviews really puts a spotlight on companies, on scents, on the beard community. So um, I have you to thank.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's always nice to have the opportunity. I mean, I started doing this just because I was buying so many things online. I didn't know what a lot of these scents were at the time. It's like, what is ambergris? What is, jasper? What are all these different things? So I started buying a bunch of them, and I'm buying all the stuff. I thought, well, how can I help other people understand what it smells like? If they're in the same boat I am, they don't know what the words mean, but I can explain kind of the whole thing come together as. So that's kind of how I got started. So it was fun.
Yeah, and you do really have a good nose. I like that your reviews they're short, they're sweet. You tell the notes, you tell us how you feel. Um, there's not, it's not it's in depth, but it's to the point. It's a really good review. I know you're a fan of a few of the things like Smashed and all the things you get from me. So that's an honor. Um, so I appreciate that, and um, I know that you have something going on right now. We could talk about that first.
Yeah.
because I think that you do have something that's not March Madness, so it doesn't feature beard companies and scents, but you do have something going on right now. It is, if anyone knows, it's Dan's Beard Reviews. He's having a beard competition. Everyone has already submitted their beard and mustache picks. A lot of great companies have jumped in to give some of the, I guess, prizes for the winners.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I reached out about 2 weeks ago, just seeing if there was companies that'd be willing to donate prizes. The very first year I did this, I was just doing it for fun. I didn't even think about prizes; it wasn't even on my radar. And then Brandon from Rogue's beer company said, "Hey, do you have any companies that are going to sponsor for prizes or anything like that?" I'm like, "I really don't, because I don't like asking for stuff. I don't like asking for free stuff. I never have. So I just wasn't comfortable doing that." So he's the one that started that. He reached out to some companies, and I was just amazed how generous people were. So then last year was the second year, and this year I'm just blown away. We've got 31, 32 companies that all have contributed. And the nice thing when you have that many companies, no one has to go crazy. You don't have to give a ton, but some companies have really been very generous. I've been amazed. So I've got a big box in my living room that's just overflowing right now with some amazing prizes, and I've got probably half of what I'm going to have at the end. It's amazing.
That's going to be fun sending out all those prizes at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the past, I've had the companies send it directly to the winners. But what I like about this year is I can diversify the prizes up, so they're not all getting one company. They're getting a little bit from everybody, and I'm going to kind of try to make it personalize a little bit at the end of beer reviews and have a gift box that they'll be getting. So yeah, we'll try to take a step forward this year, make it a little more personal. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's really good. You can get more credit for, maybe customizing a box, maybe putting some companies that you might not or have not tried yet before with some other companies that you do love, and kind of maybe again compare with that, which is really cool.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and
it's
I've
one
had
thing
fun
I
too because there's
love
several
about the
companies that
community.
reach out. Sorry, go ahead.
No, there's definitely a lag. It's on my end as
Yeah,
usual.
sorry.
That all the beer care companies come together whenever we do something like this, and especially for someone like you to reach out and ask, hey, if anybody wants to join in, you're not necessarily asking for anything specifically, but just a participation, and it's overwhelming the response every time.
It is. Yeah, it really is, and because every company kind of has this niche. I mean, I'm I don't use a whole lot of mustache wax, but there's a lot of guys out there that do. So over the last 3 years, I've really gotten to know some really great mustache wax companies. Salt Stash and Death Grip and BSC Wax, and this year I got Dirty Bird and some others that have contributed. That I've enjoyed really getting to know their owners, and that's kind of the side of the beer game that I'm not as familiar with, but I really enjoyed learning it. So our mustache guys, they're getting some really nice prizes too.
That's good. It's not often thought about in the beard oil, beard care. Is the mustache? It's almost totally separate, but not
Right,
from the products we use. Um,
right.
I do have a mustache wax. Bay Area Beer Company does have a mustache wax. It is similar to one of Death Grip's lighter holds. I like mine a little bit more natural, mostly. So,
Mhm.
but for those that don't, I know Patrick, you're twisting now. We all like to do the twist. So, um, if you like to do the twist with your mustache, I do have a mustache wax. Um, but this is in no particular order, but this is a list of some of the companies that you have. I know these are a little small, but I see Mythical Beards, Florida, Valhalla, Bigfoot Refinery, another one,
Yeah, Savante.
Elite Grooming,
Yeah.
Beastly Beard. I see Blue Collar in there. Copper Johns, amazing.
Yep.
Five Boroughs, Bearded Gang, Bay Area beer company. I haven't heard of them. Heathen, Burlier Beard. I think there's a couple new companies in there.
There's some that I haven't had a chance to try their product yet either. So as I'm getting these products, I'm smelling them through the bottle, trying to get an idea of what's going on. But yeah, I'm definitely throwing back some reviews for these new companies as well.
Yeah, that's great. You want to be able to say good things about them. I'm sure they're all great products too, or
Yeah,
they have a whole lot to offer, and it's great that when they do, they're able to give to charity or these events that they can get their name out there, just like I did when I first started, and still trying
yeah,
to, if still trying.
yeah,
8-bit, True North, great designs, great products. EDC, Van Leeuwen, it's a Bearded Death. I think there's a couple other ones in there too. Space City.
yeah, yeah. We've got cowls from Australia. They're from Australia. We've got a couple from Canada. Got one coming from Norway. So it's kind of an international deal. And I've got some competitors from Amsterdam, Norway, England, Canada. So I've got guys from all over. That's kind of the cool part about being able to send photos. People can show up anywhere from anywhere. Pretty neat.
Yeah, that is actually really awesome. You get overseas participants too. That not
Yeah,
just because of international shipping from here to there. It's not really like the UK product line is. It's kind of their own thing, and then we have here in the States too. So
yeah,
it's almost kind of like a whole separate thing. So that's really cool that they're able to contribute and be a part.
yeah.
Any of those companies that you got to try beforehand that maybe you haven't, that you're excited that either reached out or that maybe you were a secret fan of or something like that?
Yeah, there were several that were new to me. I mean, I've heard the names, but I hadn't tried them yet. Space City, Heathen Beards, uh, Burlier Beards. They were again just very generous, all kind of things. So we've got straight razors, like the actual barbershop straight razors. Got mustache wax. We've got trimmers. We've got all kinds of brushes. California Gang, hey, they're merch. So got some pretty neat hats coming from them. And then I'm trying to think, there's so many. It's all right, I don't want to leave anyone out. But yeah, there's just all kinds of things. They got T-shirts, got mustache wax remover oil from a couple companies. So just some things that you may not think about that were nice to have too.
Yes, mustache wax remover oil is another thing. I know that Death Grip is championship quality mustache wax, but a couple of those you need a mustache wax remover oil or soap.
Yeah,
I will say mine doesn't need that. I didn't want that. But they're top for a reason. But I did model one of those waxes probably after one of their lighter hold mustache waxes. But they're great too. I know Shram Patrick uses a couple. He uses Death Grip and then mine too, depending on what he needs. So that's really good too. I didn't know, like, you feel like you'd only need one mustache wax. Now we're getting into you need multiple mustache waxes.
mhm. Some companies sent them, some of them don't. So you get some different scents as well.
Okay. Today you started the voting, so I didn't have any
Yeah,
pictures to put up of some of the contestants.
yeah,
However, you did start the voting. It started at 9 a.m. That's typically what you'll do. You'll go from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can
yeah.
go and vote on first round of which category today.
Today was beard 6 inches and under. and then tomorrow will be 6 inches over. Yep. And then Sunday we'll wrap up the first round with the mustache.
So you have 3 different categories, and you have prizes for which finishers?
Yeah, top 3 in each category.
Okay, so you have essentially 9 different gift sets, gift baskets that you'll end up shipping to the winners.
Yep. Yep. And I was amazed. Like, my beard right now is about 4.5 inches, so a 6-inch beard can still look pretty big, you know. Because there's a couple of guys, they came in saying they were 6 inches and under. I'm like, you're gonna have to send me a picture with a ruler. Your beard looks pretty big. But they were there last year. I had some people complain that some people, there's no way they're 6 inches, they're longer. That's why they're winning. So this year I wanted to be as authentic and legit as possible. So there's a couple guys that did say, hey, you have to send me a picture. And they did. And they were very gracious about it and upfront about it. And they were all right there at that 6-inch mark. So yeah, 6-inch beard can still look pretty impressive.
Yeah, yours is at 4.5, definitely pretty big. I like I haven't gone to a barber to actually style mine yet. I kind of do it all myself.
Okay.
But I also always wear black shirts, so I don't think you can really tell how long it is. I haven't measured it. I've never been a measure of the beard guy, but
yeah,
I think I might have to find out now.
Yeah, this is probably as long as mine's been.
I think,
a long time.
Do you use a beard straightener?
I just blow dry.
Or a comb?
I have a straightener. I have a mini Albright, and it works pretty well. But I feel like the blow dryer just makes it look a little more natural, not quite as straight and rigid. Kind of rounds off the corners a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the blow dried version as well. That's one. I think one of the issues that we had with apparel is that a lot of the guys' beards, they didn't like the front logo,
right,
of the company on the shirt because their beards would cover it up. So I did release a shirt that had the logo and the writing on the back as opposed to on the front. But for as big as my beard has ever got, and like you could see right now with yours, it is 4.5, 5-inch beard, even probably at least 6 won't cover up the logo.
Right. Yeah, somebody else posted something about that too. They showed an actual link that showed where you can get your custom hoodies with the logo on the back and then a smaller thing on the front because they said their beard was too big. They could never see the company on the front. So maybe I'll get there someday. I'm not there yet.
Yep. All right, Patrick. Can finally tell the wife I can have 9 inches. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I got a lot of remarks.
We've opened up.
Yeah,
we've opened up Pandora's box on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't vote. Everybody else gets to vote. So every one of the followers. So if anyone in here who has not voted, go to Dan's Beard Reviews on Instagram. The voting is still open for beard 6 inches and under today, up until 9 p.m. Then there'll be a new set of contestants tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It'll be a different category. And then you go. So next week are you going to go every other day, or are you going to wait till next week to do the second round?
Each category will compete roughly every 4 days. It takes me a couple of days to kind of reload everything and then set the things back up. So like round 2, we'll start with beard 6 inches again at Tuesday. And then we'll go Wednesday, Thursday, have Friday off, and then we'll Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So basically every 4 days.
Okay. That's good. I know that I think last time for March Madness, I think you may have did it every week.
Yeah. So it'll be over in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I got close to 100 participants. So it was hard. I hate to turn people down. I had to turn some people down, just because, I mean, I've only got so much time to load all this stuff, and I wanted a bracket that was somewhat neat. Last year I was kind of, I let as many people come in as wanted, but it made it kind of hard near the end when we started getting down to the final brackets. It really wasn't lining up quite right.
Yeah, that's can get kind of tedious. I imagine, and you can kind of get the experience for your March Madness for the beard care companies coming up too.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another one I definitely look forward to. I didn't do that last year. I did the beard competition. Didn't do March Madness last year. I felt like there were several other people that did it, so I kind of backed off last year. But I'll get back to it this year.
Okay, yeah, that was always fun, and definitely with beer care companies, we're all pretty close, and we chat. So while we are technically competitors in the business world, it's a lot more fun just for bragging rights than it is for anything else, especially with your buddies.
Right.
So that's
Right.
always a good time.
It is. It is. It's fun. Especially when you guys kind of know each other. And you have a little back alley rivalry going on there. A little bit is fun.
Yeah, we're I was able to have a sit down with guys like Tailored Beard, Han Yacker, who was a big inspiration to me, and obviously Nick from Weird Beard at the time too. That we could kind of go back and forth and have our little trash talk, but in the fun way. It's always really great that you set these things up and that everybody can join in and just have a good time and interact with each other. It's such a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought when I first got into this that I would meet this many people from all over the world, all over the country. And it just, for the most part, it really is a very fun community, very supportive of each other, doing donations for people who are in need, auctions and things like that. I'm amazed at the generosity within the bearded community, how we look out for each other. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do. It's one of my favorite things. It's making friends and meeting those, even as customers become friends and competitors become friends. So it definitely helps if you have a beard and you're a Buckeye fan. It's instant friend.
Yeah. I hated that you had to make a Michigan last year. I hated that. That was horrible.
Yeah,
but it turned out good. You did a nice job.
I lost a few bets. I lost a few bets because of Buccaneer and Ohio State football. Luckily, I didn't have to make any Michigan shirts. I had to give away a couple shirts, but they weren't Michigan based, so I got lucky there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't win the bet, but I did get a good Christmas gift from Patrick. So I'm not complaining. I'm still drinking that coffee every day. So
yeah.
I'm having a good time.
Sounds good.
Well, we can. So if anybody's in the chat now, if anybody's watching, if you go to Dan's Beard Reviews. No, I did not get my Brooks and Dunn tickets yet. I have tickets to Chris Stapleton, both days of Morgan Wallen. We're going to Tortuga Music Festival in April. So we have a lot of stuff planned. I do plan on purchasing the lawn seats in Tampa as well. But not Brooks and Dunn. I have not purchased those yet.
They having a reunion tour? I thought they retired.
No, they're calling it the Reboot tour. I think with Ernest or Ernst.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
I do listen to country music, but I haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's new. That is probably only a couple days old. I know my good buddy Mark mentioned. He knows about concerts way before I do. So he, are you going? I didn't even know it was happening.
Those are good friends to have.
Yeah, it's like, well, I guess I'd better get on it. One of the popular series for me last year, and this was huge because you're a man of God. You post your daily devotionals and your Bible scriptures. Tribes of Israel. This was a series that kind of was something I wanted to do for a very long time. I wanted to tell the story of God's people, one thing I claim to be a part of, uh, you know, through my belief in Jesus Christ, that kind of tell the story in a really fun way without having kind of like a subscription. Oh no, he wants to see the mullet. I gotta take this down here. That's the only reason he's here. he what's up, Daniel? So I don't know if you can kind of see it. So it's kind of I got a little bit of country thing going on here. Morgan Wallen cut his off. I'm growing mine out. So
There you go. Look good.
yeah, thanks, man. So that was like kind of a series that I did. I know that you grabbed. I think you have. I think you have to have all of them. I think.
Yeah, I got them all. Yeah.
So this gentleman has them all, and it's the Tribes of Israel. I didn't even put my last sticker on yet. I didn't put Benjamin on.
Yep.
Have it here.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I completed the set. I got them all.
Yeah. I'm one of those guys that like to check boxes off. So I got them all.
Yeah, this was my collect them all McDonald's set. So that's it. That's the Tribes of Israel. This is the ephod. This is all the jewels that each tribe was represented by, that you can collect. If you buy each tribe of Israel that you get get your sticker set, and you get to put them on the poster. You complete the poster, you get to pick out your very own Bay Area Beard Company shirt. And
Nice.
I owe you one either way because the last one didn't fit. So
It's all right. No, as soon as I heard you were doing this, I was excited about the idea just because of you have a great understanding of the history and the background of that. I mean, while I definitely understand my scripture and know that stuff, but I'm not as in depth in the history that you are, and I really enjoyed like where they were coming from, the land that they're given, and the reason why, and all that was really interesting. It really was.
I did kind of just want to tell the story of each tribe, maybe a couple of different little cool facts. Nothing too preachy or sermony. New word.
Right.
I don't try not to do that on my
Right.
page. I like telling the beautiful stories. That I've learned recently, not necessarily as a child, but really in depth about God's word and the context, the culture, the language, the political backdrop, the socioeconomic setting where it comes from. And the Tribes of Israel is it because not a lot of I guess a lot of people start their Bibles in Matthew, and a lot of the context comes from the front of the book. So that's what I want to do. I want to tell a really cool story about God's people, in what was like a collection or a series, not necessarily a subscription, but I did want to treat it as such. Kevin got his shirt. He completed the set. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, see, he already Matt Wallen. he cut his hair. So, and you have them all. You tell us about as many as you want or as few as you want. Ones you liked, maybe you didn't like, maybe your favorite, maybe your favorite story, your favorite fact, interesting tidbit about a tribe that you didn't know about. Stage is yours.
Okay. Um, I enjoyed them all. There was only one I didn't like, and it's not your fault. I don't like root beer. So the the Ephraim, I just wasn't a big fan of that one. But I'm just not a root beer guy. That's the only reason, not you. But other than that, I really did enjoy them all. My two favorites, ironically enough, are probably the bookends, Reuben, and then the Benjamin. Those are probably my two favorites. So it's kind of interesting. You started off with a really great one, and you finished off with a really great one. Um, but like I was going back through these this week, trying to kind of refamiliarize with myself. You you did a nice job of kind of setting up seasonal scents, even though you were going with different tribes. In the spring, you're going into brighter, lighter scents and stuff like that, and then when we got into fall, you're going into something a little smokier and things like that. So you did kind of follow the seasons, even though it wasn't specifically a seasonal scent. But they were all really nice, very smooth, all completely different, which has got to be hard.
Yes. I didn't, not that anyone knows, I'll reveal something. I didn't have the scents planned out at all. I think that's probably why they landed on seasonal, is because I really designed them very whimsically
As you went, yeah,
and imaginatively, very, very fast. I may have kind of designed, I think, um, Judah, Dan, and Levy, Judah, and Dan. I think I did plan and line up, but the rest of them were all kind of feeling the season, the month, maybe, and they all kind of ended up kind of going by the color of the jewel. I think Reuben was raspberries red, Simeon
right,
was the topaz, was cologne. Levy had a green. Judah was also green tea. Dan blueberry. Um,
right.
Gad was opal, the multicolored. I went Fruit Loops. It was like,
Yeah,
um,
that was a great one. That one I actually took to school.
Issachar was the purple.
Yeah, the Fruit Loop type set I took to school because
Oh, the Fruit Loops
I'm an
one.
elementary
Yeah,
teacher, so they love the fruitiness. They love uh, the bright scents, the fruity scents. So I keep those for school. They loved it.
that's awesome that Fruit Loops worked. Root beer didn't,
Yeah,
but that's fine. If you got the vanilla ice cream, you could use that with the Fruit Loops. Even
there you go.
had
Right,
Patrick kind of mess up, and he kind of discovered something.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I was really anxious to see Judah with the green tea, the iced tea, the red tea, black tea, smoked oud. I just couldn't imagine what that smelled like. It just sounded like it would be so light. What kind of depth it would have. It's actually a really nice scent.
That ended up being a really popular one too, for being more of a theme. Um, when you go, iced tea, green tea, black tea, red tea, where it just kind of, you think it'd be overwhelming when really, um, yeah, Asher. And that was another one too. I tried to really step out of my box with what all these things I would create. Maybe not so much the Fruit Loops or the root beer float, but
Yeah,
the rest of them, to do things I typically wouldn't enjoy, like a patchouli, where Asher is a amber patchouli, white patchouli type cologne. Um, I know Levy had some ambergris in it, which is definitely a cologne
yeah,
vibe, but that's a very unique fragrance. Uh, Zebulon is an apple, like a woodsy apple. Never really been a fan of apple scents. This one I liked. It's
mhm,
mild. It's very fall esque. It's very mild apple. So there are a lot of those that, you know, it takes a lot. I'm sure other companies can chime in. Daniel, when you're creating these scents, that you have to love them in order to kind of be transparent with your imagination and the things you're coming up with, and for others to also enjoy what you enjoy. It's really tough to connect sometimes. What you think will do well, if you don't love it,
right.
um, So that can be tough.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Asher is actually the name of one of my grandkids, so we were really anxious to get that one. And I do like the white patchouli, the amber patchouli, the vetiver. Got kind of incense type smokiness to it. I love incense type scents too. So yeah, that was a good one too. Um, yeah, Naphtali, is that how you say it? Naphtali. Yeah,
Naphtali.
yeah, and we were talking before we came on camera that you always have some really unique additions to your scents. I mean, you have the leather, you have the mahogany, but then like that particular one, you had River Rock, um, sea glass. Look, I was like, what is sea glass? What does that smell like? But and you're kind of known for
Yeah.
having one of those, just one or two of those in there that are just really unique, which makes it kind of hard to guess what your scent's going to be like. But it always makes it a little different than what you're never going to find it somewhere else.
This man's coming up with stuff on his own. It's also one of the reasons why I like to do the like Ephraim and Manasseh. That's kind of a deep Bible cut with the two sons of Joseph. The jewel is a Joseph jewel stone. It's the scent is Joseph, but when you buy the combo, the oil is named Ephraim, the butter is named Manasseh, and if you know the story of the cross-handed blessing in Genesis 49, that Joseph had two sons that were adopted by Israel. And so essentially you have Israel adopting his two sons, and they become as sons. They're no longer grandsons. They become a part of the inheritance of Israel. Ephraim eventually, who was half Egyptian, by the way, because Joseph married an Egyptian, the daughter of an Egyptian priestess. And so there were two sons of Israel that were half Egyptian. And Ephraim became one of the prominent tribes in the northern house of Israel that was conquered by Assyria. So there's some deep cuts in that root beer float that I thought that to me were really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of information there that when you're reading your Old Testament, it's easy to just kind of gloss over some of the details in there just because it's kind of tough reading sometimes. But when you take time to actually study it, it really is very interesting. And like you said, how it plays into the second half of the book, and how it becomes so important,
Yes. And oftentimes, again, I want to bore anyone here, but where you have in the Old Testament, you have Israel, but a lot of times it's called the house of Israel, which they're referring to the tribes, northern tribes there were 10 of them. Ephraim was the major dominant tribe. Then in the south, you have two, maybe two and a half, three, led by Judah. That was the prominent tribe. They were called Judah, the house of Judah. So you actually have a lot of times in context, these stories that are being talked about, you have called the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Not all Israel. They were kind of like a loose conglomerate of tribal societies that kind of formed together at a
right?
time. They were very loose at times. So, and the context does play into some of the stories that are going on. And you kind of have to know in order to really interpret the events that do go on in the book of Samuel, Kings, and even before and after. I don't think I really meant to do that with these. It's really just a fun little, maybe some facts, tidbits, but that you probably can't even read on the label. By the way, they're so small, but it's fun. I tried to be colorful, if you will. So I hope that those that grab some of these scents did enjoy that, at least getting a sticker or two.
Hey, it works at school. It works here in my house too. I really like stickers. So before you started this line, you couldn't have possibly known what was going to be coming up this year with Israel and Palestine, and I'm not trying to open up a can of worms, but have you had any pushback from that?
No. It's clearly all over the news. It's all over
Mhm.
media, social media. It feels like picking sides. It feels like a lot of the what we're engulfed in socially. It's always picking a side, one or the other. Doesn't and I didn't. Israel's always in the news, and definitely not biblically, but socially and politically, human based now you can pick a side on whether they make the right decisions or not, what they do, what happens.
Mhm.
No, I didn't foresee that, but no, there hasn't been any pushback, and it may have hindered a little bit of those participating in this collection, but I haven't heard any of that in attending markets since
Right.
March. No, a lot of people have really enjoyed the series.
Good. Good. Yeah, 'cause I've enjoyed it too. I really have. Like I said before, when I heard that you were going to do it, I thought it was such a cool idea. It's really different and historical. I the older I get, the more into history I am. I wasn't into it when I was a kid, but learning the more of the history and how it affects us today is really amazing. It really is.
It is. I like, and I didn't know growing up that um, Moses was a Levite. Um, Paul actually, even though he referred to himself as a Jew, someone who was Jewish, that he
Mhm.
claimed to be from the tribe of Benjamin. So he had a specific affiliation with Benjamin. That he was a descendant of that tribe specifically. And I mean, there are some other ones in there. I think I have to see who. I think I believe Samson was a Danite. He was from the tribe of Dan. So there were certain, um, these tribes. If you really dive into them, some of these famous Bible characters were from them. They weren't, technically, while they were all Hebrews, they weren't all Jewish. They all had a very specific affiliation to these different tribes. And I like maybe pointing out something fun, very
Right.
light.
Well, and they were when they were first created, how they were meant to help support the community. How the Levites were really meant to be the priests to do the work of God, and how the others were supposed to help support them. They weren't supposed to collect food, so they would bring food to them as part of the sacrifice and part of the collection, and just how all that worked. Is pretty amazing.
Yeah, they were meant to be the workers, and different families within the tribe of Levi was to do different duties throughout the temple, about the temple. Um, they were essentially removed from the inheritance of Canaan and the land of Israel, and they just received. They were essentially God's inheritance, and they were given little tiny cities within each tribe, although they didn't specifically get land themselves. So that's
Right,
another really cool thing too, is that, um,
right.
and there's a whole bunch of really interesting facts about each one, that you can have literally a 12-part series and just kind of make everybody fall asleep. But um,
Which is your favorite
this
of
was
the
this was
12? What's
really
your favorite set? Do you have one that stands out?
um, my favorite. Is I mean, honestly, I really like Ruben. That was the first one. So that's the first
Yeah.
one. It really always has more emotion in it, right? So it's at the start of something. I liked Ruben. I really liked Ruben. But that was kind of a recreation from the Four Horsemen, because it had a nice dark cherry wood tobacco scent
Right,
in it that was
right.
really
Yeah,
popular in one of those. Um,
yeah. I can see that. I didn't think about
I
that,
really
but you're
like
right.
Levy. I really
Hmm.
like Levy. Levy is
Yeah,
a unique, because I'm not a pear fan. I don't
yeah.
like pear. Well, the physical fruit. Uh,
Right.
the the scent. I like to. I like the scent. I don't technically like the taste or the texture of pears. So, and that one was really good. Levy might might be my favorite.
Really?
To wear, the one I wore the most of was actually Zebulon in the fall. I think in October I wore Zebulon a lot. I really enjoyed that one. Again,
Yeah.
Like anybody knows, if anybody kind of discovers
Yeah.
a scent profile that maybe they didn't think they would like, and then they did like it, they wear it the most. It seems like they're more excited to wear something that they were unsure of. Zebulon would have been mine. I think Zebulon was probably, again, being woodsy, has a little bit of some woodsy notes to it. That one might that was my sleeper. That was probably my favorite, Zebulon.
It's nice. It is. It's nice, and the embers in there is just enough. It's not. Smoke can be really overpowering. I did a custom scent with the company this year, and the overall scent was pretty good, but the smoke got a little too carried away. In a scent, you did a really nice job of just keeping it. It's there, but it doesn't take over. It's nice.
And when you create stuff like that, like some of those notes are within a fragrance that also has other notes in it. So it sometimes is not its own thing. If you do add something that is like smoke and it's its own fragrance, then yeah, it can definitely take over at some point, right? And musk can sometimes be what's left.
Okay. How often are you trying, like, just buying new fragrances, like fragrance oil, just to try them? Is that something you do all the time, or?
Yeah, that's probably something I do. If I ever discover a fragrance, if I'm searching for a fragrance, I will pop up on a new fragrance company that I may not have recognized, or some of the fragrance companies that I do purchase from will release new scents. So I will go buy.
Every day. Yeah.
Sorry, my girlfriend's watching. So now there's no secret how she feels about me wanting her to know what something smells like. Every day. No, not every day. So if a new if a fragrance company will like maybe comes out with a couple new fragrances, I'll go back on a site and look, and I'll come across something I didn't get before, or that maybe is sparking my interest about having scent. It's a lot. Appreciate it, Mark. Yeah.
So when you get a
That one.
fragrance,
Yeah, that's that. I think that was
was
your favorite, right?
I'm sorry.
No, I know I'm not as like scientific with the scent wheel as I'm sure some companies are. I try and honestly just let my nose figure that out.
Okay. Yeah.
And when I smell a scent, I will guess.
Yeah.
There a lot of these scents are beautiful mistakes, if you will, but some I kind of will figure out. What's the top, what's the middle, what's the bottom, what's uh, you know, what may overpower one or another. They might be, in different categories of the scent wheel. Some are similar. I mean, I try not to go too much into that. I'll overthink it. If any of these guys know, like, if I try something, I mix it, I like it, I stop. I don't keep going. It can really
Right.
get out of hand overthinking it.
Yeah. I can see that. How many scents do you have in your catalog now?
I think after discontinuing 4 or 5, I actually don't know. It was
You've
close to
got a pretty good
20. I
collection.
think I'm probably I honestly I can't count it. I know I just released a new one. We're gonna talk about that too. Exodus.
Right.
Um, I think it might be 14 or 15. I do try and
Okay.
keep it small. I'm trying to learn from some of my mistakes of just doing too many. Kind of transitioning to seasonal scents and limited edition scents. I think has
Right.
definitely become more popular.
Well, that's interesting. Like one thing that used to be popular, and it's still somewhat popular, is reviewers would do like their top 10 of the year, right? And this year, I kind of kept track, like every month, what's the top one or two that I really liked for that month, hoping to do that. But what I found is out of the 10 to 15 that were my favorites, probably 9 of them were limited edition. So I
Mhm.
can tell you it's my favorite, but most people can't buy it anymore.
Yeah. Are there any ones that you wish you could go back and get? Hope that that a company would re-release, or is it? Are you happy with purchasing a beard oil or a butter in a combo and being like, I'm going to use this till it's gone, and then I'm going to be on to the next?
I don't re-buy a scent very often. There's probably I'm just getting so much product all the time. I really am getting so much that I just can't even use what I have. I mean, I give away so much product. People at church, people at school, friends. Um, just because I don't want it to go bad. I want people to be able to try the companies and try the product themselves rather than just sitting on my shelf. So there's a couple. There's a couple. Like I bought Florida Blanca twice. And there's been some others that I've had that were truly really good scents that I really did enjoy. So and I'll go back to those.
Yeah, even as as an owner, when I create a scent and love it, and I'm like, oh, this is one I could wear every day. Well, I'm I'm on to the next scent too, and you're
Yeah,
I can't wear the one I love every day because I have other ones that I'm making that I like and love, and maybe not as much as that, but I'm making so much. I'm testing everything that
yeah,
yeah, even I can't go back to my favorite. And that's not even to mention all the other owners and that are creating scents that I want to try too. So I can understand. It can be tough
yeah.
to kind of keep that. Yeah, yeah.
So what would you consider a seasonal scent right now? Because we're kind of out of Christmas. You still doing winter type scents?
um, Benjamin was kind of like the seasonal. That was the one I wanted to do that was wintry but not woodsy or didn't have a Christmas feel to it. Even though I wanted it to be more winter, that's why you have the yuzu, mint, amyris. It's kind of cold. It has an icy feel to it.
Right.
The two seasonal scents, I think those are actually BOGO right now. Um, out of all the scents that I did discontinue over the winter, Drip will be returning in the summer. So a lot of the ones I got that I did discontinue, one of those will be back, and I'm trying to kind of have ones be a part of the main line. Shikaya, which was kind of like a summer sandalwood. That one became so popular, will be a part of the main line as well. That really really broke the seasonal line here in Florida. So that one will be a part of the main line. I'm still kind of learning the seasonal thing because I want everything to be available all the time, just in case somebody wants it. That's something I'm bad at.
Well, it's got to be hard too, just 'cause like me being here in Ohio, a winter scent to me is something I want something that's going to be kind of warm, kind of bring me into the warmth, the fireplace. You're down in Florida, 80 degrees. Your seasonal might feel a lot different than my seasonal.
That's true. So do you tend to gravitate towards like warmer? scents?
I do. My wheelhouse is all in the warmer scents. Um, like summer, I very rarely go tropical. Um, I'll go more like kind of what you did, like the cucumber pear, kind of a zen type feel, light spring, somewhat flower.
Mhm.
I'll go that route, but I don't go straight up sweet very often.
Okay. And so
But my
you
brother
really
took out. My
enjoyed
brother loves that stuff.
Smashed then.
Yes,
And
love
I
it.
was scared that might be too sweet. I know that I think that may or may not have been your favorite fall scent.
I I I was torn just because yeah, the description made it sound like it would be pretty sweet. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was just enough warmth and sweetness, um, but it wasn't overly sweet. Wasn't overly spicy. Yeah, you killed it. That is my favorite pumpkin spice scent I've ever had, and I've had a lot of them.
Yeah, I think I know all the fall ones you were trying. That was you know, it's cliche, obviously, right? I'm a big pumpkin spice coffee fan.
Yeah,
Probably pumpkin beer too. Now I've gotten more into
right.
that, being a craft beer drinker.
Yeah,
It it does feel cliche, even though it's so good. So being unique in the the beard care realm to release a pumpkin spice anything, it feels like everyone's doing it.
yeah,
So where do you stand out in there? So that's tough. And that
yeah.
was honestly probably the other than two step Florida Blanca Smash was my best selling scent for
Really.
2023, given its
Yeah,
release.
it was great. It was great. I felt like this year in general was probably the best pumpkin spice type lineup that companies have released. There were several companies. I mean, like when I was doing that review for the fall, the final three were just splitting hairs. They were all really good.
If you go to any fragrance company, and you as soon as you click on the letter P for fragrances, it's pumpkin everything. It's
Yeah,
pumpkin waffles. It really is. It is. To
yeah,
get through the peas of the pumpkin is a nightmare because it's pumpkin this, pumpkin waffles, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin snickered doodle, pumpkin coffee, pumpkin mocha. It's um, pumpkin and vanilla. It's
yeah.
uh you can't get around it. And it's I mean,
Right. I
obviously
can imagine.
candles and yeah.
Yeah, I found pumpkin goldfish this winter. They weren't bad. I have to admit, they weren't bad.
Okay. I went through a pumpkin cheesecake phase where I was making
Yeah,
my own like kind of fat free dessert. Yeah, it gets out of hand real
yeah,
quick with the pumpkin. I'm surprised that it went that well, being that everyone is so overwhelmed with with pumpkin. Um, that was fun. Well, I think Mark's loved me a softball here, but I just wanted to be different. As the one way I thought that I could stand out initially was um, packaging, bamboo tops, maybe doing boxes with my logo on it because I wasn't seeing that. Um, doing like a frosted bottle with that bamboo top because everything was um, like a glossy brown or green with just the plastic top. Um, you didn't see bamboo containers. I think initially I had glass and just trying to go that little bit of extra mile just to kind of get noticed. That was really it. And now it's fun coming up with the next thing. What's
yeah. Your cylinders that
up,
your oils come
JP?
in too were a little bit different.
Oh, yeah, the tubes. I actually don't have one of these in front of me. Sorry. Yeah,
Hmm.
the cosmetic tubes. They're great for shipping. I'll tell you that. That has been phenomenal. Brakes are zero, knock on
Right.
wood. So it's that's been great. Yeah, and presentation wise, it's just not something you see. So that's just to maybe stand out just one little bit. It's been fun. This is art, and so it's fun kind of doing the little different thing with the bamboo containers and just maybe going the extra mile.
Yeah, your labels are always so
I
sharp.
don't have, trying to consistently redesign them too has been fun. Even with so I'll bring this up. Sample packs are now back. So I do have, which you'll get the top five sample. This is Florida Blanca, Metzola, Endora, Two Step, and Exodus. These are all newer labels. These are going to be what the larger version will look like. I kind of got rid of the wax seal, the center seals, and kind of went with like a fuller, like a lot cooler of a logo. It's going to have its own branding. Again, just kind of learning as I go with that. So yeah, sample packs are now back, and I got to do a little bit more designing on my own type of deal. But Dan,
That's what
what
I have
are
in
you?
here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, love that scent.
What are your, and we'll leave this up to the chat too. A little segment for this show. Beard resolutions. Did you make any? Do you have any? Uh, and what are they? Are they buy more products, buy less products? I want to have a bigger beard. I'm going to trim it. I want it to be straighter. I want it to look like so and so. Maybe it's a mustache goal. What are yours?
That's a good question. I really wish I could grow a bigger mustache. My mustache goes slower than everything else, and it's just painful. So I can't. It takes forever to get past that really awkward phase, and it's just terrible. I've tried mustache wax and everything. I just cannot be patient enough to really let it grow like I wish I could.
So you keep your mustache trimmed,
It's pretty
short.
tight. Yeah, yeah. It's a little longer on this side, but not enough to be able to do what you do, just because it's too thin. Yeah, there's not enough there. So, because I'd like to
Yeah,
let
there's
the inner part grow out so you could really get that sweep, kind of like what you have. Yeah, I wish I could do that. I'm not patient enough to get past that point.
it's it just kind of happens, right, where it gets too long and then you're just playing with it. Next thing you know, I don't know. I have like two. Am I grabbing mustache or beard? It's like, but now this
Yeah,
it becomes a part of. So I'm always doing this. Probably done
yeah.
this plenty of times during the show. So yours is you would want to try and grow a bigger mustache, or that
I,
would be
I would like to. I've tried it a couple times. I don't know if that I can do it. I just don't know if I can do it. One thing I did change this year is I decided to let the gray come through and quit coloring it. We're just going to go with the natural look. Um, right now, I'm kind of in an awkward phase, like on the sides. Like I wear hoodies a lot as a gym teacher, and so by the end of the day, I'm kind of looking like this. So I want
from
to
the
kind of,
hoodie.
yeah, let it get to the point where it's not going to be doing that, and then come spring we'll probably trim it back again. But yeah, I'm enjoying having it longer. I really am. It's fun.
Yeah, collared shirts tend to push it up for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it definitely pushes it up.
Hmm.
uh, Kevin says after trimming my beard 3 years, I'm going to grow back out and try to buy less products. So I'm not going to be able to use them all. Yeah, that's definitely the case. I think that's, um, I think if I had a goal, My girlfriend's not going to like this. Less grays. I don't like my little bit of gray that I have coming in. Yours is coming in very nicely.
Yeah,
And I would like to find maybe a different way to style my beard. I think maybe gaining the courage to have an actual beard barber trim my beard as well. So right now I kind of do it all myself.
that can be hard to find too. I've gone through several barbers. I had a guy this summer that it's a men's shop, do all guys stuff, and he made my beard perfectly round. It looked awful. It was just it's like
Oh.
no, that is not the picture I showed you at all. Not even close. So yeah, do a little research before you go stepping up to a new shop.
Yeah, I know that we as guys, we probably, like I've chosen to kind of go with kind of like a Morgan Wallen mullet at the time. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm doing. But, and I'm happy with it. I love it. We choose silly hairstyles, but if somebody messes up our beard, I mean, that's um, nightmare fuel to
yeah,
think that we could walk in and the guy might trim my mustache too long or the beard's too short. That's we put a lot of work into this. The top half is like, who cares? Two
right.
weeks.
Yeah. So
So
I usually spend double the time on my beard as I do my hair in the morning. My hair, well, there's not much left up there anymore, but it's it takes care of itself. It's easy.
it it does. That's not a big part of it, but the beard's got to look perfect.
That's right.
Like this
That's
the
right.
top half.
Yeah, if the beard looks good enough,
Maybe
people don't even notice you have hair. So
yeah. It's like we're in the community and using a really really high quality beard oil or beard balm or beard butter, especially a beard wash,
mhm.
is it's critical. But store bought pomade, with the chemicals and everything in your hair, but I
Right,
wouldn't dare on my beard. So it almost feels like you know hypocritical, but that's the truth. So
it is very
it's
true. Very true. Yeah,
but we're very um you know picky with our facial hair. So
yeah.
that's
Well,
that's
I've
fun.
completely quit using hair shampoo. I use beard wash on my head just because I get like this time of year here in Ohio, my skin in general just gets so dry. I get a really dry, itchy
Mhm.
scalp, and like using your daily wash and using some others, it's just got much more nourishing and hydration features that my head feels so much better using that than it does, anything over the counter for hair shampoo.
I'm the same. I actually will use my own beard wash and beard conditioner on my hair. It's
Mhm.
worked wonders. It's incredible. You don't even need
Yep.
to towel dry or blow dry. It's so clean and that it basically just dries itself really 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 fast. You don't even need anything. So I've been a fan of using even though it is a daily wash, it's not even needed. Unless you put a bunch of product in it. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
um, anybody else have any beard goals in the chat with a few people that are there? If you guys have any beard goals you want to mention that you've been looking to do for 2024, something that maybe that you started in 2023, something that you want to do with your beard. I know that there's a few comments.
I'd say if there's one thing, then
um,
probably go
anything?
outside my comfort zone, maybe. And I do like that as a reviewer. People send me things that I wouldn't normally buy, and I normally there's a lot of times I really do like them. So I'd like to kind of get outside my normal wheelhouse and try some profiles I wouldn't normally go with. I haven't gone with yet.
Okay, what's a scent profile that you have seen that you're either scared of, that you won't like, but you probably want to try, besides the root beer?
Right. um, Put me on the spot. I'm not sure. Um, Probably more like in your woodsy eucalyptus um, type scents. Like I do like woodsy scents this type of year, but I don't go with the brighter additions into there very often. Um, yeah, the minty, I kind of stay away from that stuff, so that would be good. Um, yeah, I guess I'll know it when I see it.
If I had one, and I know I work with it all, but it's and I know it can be a carrier oil as well, as opposed to a scent. It's more likely a carrier or an essential, but tea tree I think is probably one I've stayed away from. Eucalyptus is close, but I think I use I think white. I have a white eucalyptus. I try and go away from the norm with those types of scents, like
Yeah,
patchouli. I did a white patchouli and amber patchouli. They're kind of that they almost have like cologne vibes to them.
yeah,
I use a white eucalyptus, which is a little different. Which it's not as direct with its notes.
yeah. I'm with you.
Mint, just like you
Can be
mentioned.
kind of tea tree can be kind of medicinal sometimes.
It's true. That's where you kind of almost get that medicinal vibe from it.
Yeah.
Mint. Mint's not one that I'm a huge fan of, but when Casablanca, I use Moroccan mint, so it is a bit sweeter. It doesn't have as much the menthol feel.
Okay.
So if I'm doing something that I typically won't like, I do give it a chance in a different form. Uh,
Hmm.
so I go scent adjacent with some of those things,
Yeah.
and at the same time try to be unique with those, so that maybe others like me with that can kind of go, oh well, this is better.
Right.
So I try that.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
worked out well for me for leather this past year. I've never been a big leather fan in my sense, or as a whole, and I think that that's gone very well. I enjoy using leather now.
It's hard to find an authentic leather, something that really smells like leather. Sometimes it can almost smell like chlorine. It's got kind of a weird vibe. But what you used in the the red heifer, your leather, and that was really good. Really like that one.
Okay, that was like a smoked leather. I think that one was very popular. It's probably the most popular scent of the
That was a nice one.
Graves and Gardens. Graves and Gardens series. I'm trying to think of what that leather was in that. I think it was a smoked leather. The leather that's in Two Step is a Russian leather. The idea was that for that to be more forward. The leather in that scent was meant to be probably more of a top note after the bourbon vanilla. And oh, that's right, soft leather in that one. That was kind of be like a bottom note in that one, but and it ends up kind of being towards the back of Two Step, where that one's more tobacco bay leaf after
Hmm.
the bourbon vanilla than it is leather. So you get kind of beautiful mistakes when you create things that you don't intend to. Um, so that's yeah, but leather's tough because it can even the smallest amount can overpower a scent profile. Where it just like naphtali, it became a leather scent because of the leather,
Hmm. Yeah, I'm
which I'm
sure.
fine with. It's kind of like an aquatic, has some aquatic leatheriness.
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice. I was really disappointed when I ran out of that one because that probably is one of my favorite. I love leather, so that was one of my favorites.
I don't think I don't. I think the red heifer scent, and then naphtali. So I only have a couple of leather scents. Two Step does have leather, but it's a small amount. It's kind of like a it's not a big player, but it is there.
Hmm.
And I think that's probably it. I know that there's a lot of leather fans out there.
Yeah.
So hopefully I might, work a little bit more with that. I'm doing more with colognes. Exodus is a royal desert campfire cologne. And it's a very complex profile, but more of a cologne style. So trying to go all over the place, with that. So
How much of your balms do you sell?
probably about a quarter of the amount that I do with the butters. Uh, I'm in the process of redesigning the balms,
Yeah.
but I think butter popularity as far as conditioning and moisturizing. Um, I sell more balms at markets for sure, but
Okay.
butters probably are more popular, and even oil. The oil is such a great styling oil that after you apply heat, you don't even probably need balm. So, but the balm is a great conditioning balm. It'll do a lot of the things that the butter will do throughout the day, as opposed to at night after a shower. So it has a different purpose.
Yeah,
Gives a little bit of hold, but again, it depends on your routine. So
I
the
like
butter
your
is
balm. Yeah, I like your balm. That's why I asked. There's a lot of companies that don't even, they're not even doing balm, just they're not selling that many of them. But for me during the day, I love having a balm. I use butters at night, but I like to have the styling effect of the balm.
one of the probably the great properties about my balm is that it is very light. You don't feel it in your beard. You know, a lot of people will use like store bought, and it's like it's they say it's a balm, but it's really like a pomade or a cream, and
Right.
not great to put in your beard. And you can definitely feel it, and it's very light. It's a light balm, so again, there is beeswax in it, but it is more of a moisturizing conditioner style, but it's not like a waxy balm.
Yeah, I do like it, and I like the fact that some companies you really can't tell much difference between the butter and the balm. They're so similar in their weight. But yours is definitely different. You got the whipped butter with a nice uh, say light to medium balm. So your balm really does not, like you said, the waxiness is lower, so it doesn't leave my beard feeling greasy, heavy.
It's almost ironic that the butter is whipped, but it has some density to it without beeswax, and then you have the balm, which is a pour that does have beeswax in it, but it's a light moisturizing
Yeah,
conditioning balm. It's almost like I tried to do something different there, but no,
right.
it's I like that. But I appreciate that because I am in the process of kind of restructuring. I think the butters in the balm, given the Florida heat and the temperature issues with the balms. So look for something new coming soon.
No, that'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah, I know Dan C actually did a video about the elimination of whipped butter just because of what you just said. I mean, shipping for some of those whipped butters is just a nightmare.
That's been no breakages with beard oils and glass bottles given my cosmetic tubes, but
Right.
the beard butter at times, especially uh, in shipping and being in a mailbox or whatever in this Florida heat and everywhere during the summer, can
Right.
cause the consistency to change. It doesn't cause I guess the usefulness, or of the product itself, but the texture and the consistency, it's not as fun either. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's happened. Mark knows. He's had it happen a couple times.
Yeah, I had one of yours that melted down
So,
this summer,
you
but
know, and then
it, it,
graininess.
it worked. It worked fine. Yeah, I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever.
Yeah, but it can definitely be disappointing and when you get that and to know what the whipped butter does look like and what it feels
Right. Yeah.
like and the consistency and the texture is really great, really fun. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's it's like Cool Whip. And then to get, you know, it's not a pour. It's kind of like has like a foamy, airy texture to it, but it's sometimes it'll um, kind of cause those issues. But
Yeah.
I'll deal with that.
Yeah. But you're right, man. It comes out so light that then when you start to melt it down, it does come out to a thicker, richer texture than you would expect.
Hopefully without being greasy either. And it's one of the I
Right.
love the products that they absorb so fast, and it's without being heavy or greasy, or you don't feel them in your beard or on your face at all, which is phenomenal. And that's with a lot of products, not store bought obviously, but
Right.
yeah. If you guys are in the chat and you have not gone over to Dan's Beard Reviews on Instagram, he does have the voting open and available for beards 6 inches and under. Tomorrow, vote for beards 6 inches and over. Sunday, mustaches. Go give him a follow if you have not done so already. And check out his page. He has some great in-depth reviews on a lot of great products. They're short, they're sweet, they're in-depth. He knows his stuff. Check him out. Give him a follow as well. So, I'll let you spend your Friday night with the fam and doing anything else you want on a Friday night. Then
Oh, it's fun, man. It's a fun
after
night.
this,
Fun
but
night. Appreciate it.
yeah, and I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Is there anything else that you want to say? Anything else upcoming?
Are you going to be going to the I forget what it's called, the Bucknut concert here in Ohio, Newark? It was like a beard contest and with Hemp Wizard. You going to be coming home for that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I will. I was contacted by Mike, and he asked me to go, and I am more than excited to be there and support you
Sounds like
guys. So
fun.
I will be in Newark August 23rd and 24th. I'll be there. I will be in Ohio.
That'd be great to see it. Last year I was in Michigan. I went out of town when he came into town, and so this year I'm looking forward to being there. It's going to be fun.
Okay. Yeah, he has I think an event in Fort Pierce coming up very soon, and then for the I think it's the Buckeye Beard. It's like the Buckeye Beard Bash or something. It's a competition
Something
that
like
they're going to
that. Yeah.
have, and yeah. So everybody in the area in the Midwest, I think it's kind of getting out of hand at this point. So I'm honored that he actually reached out, and so I know I did an event with him in 2022 down in Fort Pierce. So I love Mike, great guy.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be able to get to Ohio this year because of that and to hang out with everybody. So I'll be there.
Yeah. It'll be fun. Yeah. We've just crossed paths a couple times. You've been home. I haven't been able to get to see it, but it'll be neat to have a meet and greet with some people I've seen and talked to and Instagrammed with, but to see them in person will be fun.
Yep, I'll be able to meet with Sean. I think you were busy. I think you were definitely doing some kids sporting events. You were busy during the weekend. I know family. I was just visiting friends, so it would definitely be great to meet you officially and
Yeah.
to be able to hang out. So but that'll be August. If anybody, I'm sure as it gets closer, they'll be talking more about it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll be there.
Should be fun.
Yeah. So everybody that stopped in tonight, Exodus is now available. Sample packs are back. Tribes of Israel, if you use offer code Israel, you get buy one, get one 50% off. That works on combos, and single oils are available. Don't forget, you have voting tonight, ends at 9 for this round, tomorrow and Sunday for the beard competition. Go vote. It helps his page. And he's putting together a lot of great gifts and prizes for the contestants. So, Dan, thank you very much for tuning in.
My pleasure, man. It was fun.
Or being in.
Yeah. No, it's fun. We had a great time. I'm glad you invited me.
Always. I appreciate it. And thank you guys. And should have another Scruff Enuff very, very soon. Thank you.
See you guys.